wrestling debate.
Look on Cena's face, he gets all upset. It's like all these John Cena fans came out and they're now like converts to Bray Wyatt's,
Church.
Oh,
The Church
yeah.
of Bray Wyatt.
The Church of Bray Wyatt.
Waiting for like John Cena to come out in like a suit on a Bible and say, going, "Power, Christ compels you."
Yeah.
And now, here's Tyler.
Yes, welcome to the Great Wrestling Debate, everybody. And not too much with the Church of Bray Wyatt this week.
No.
Cena and Cena and the Usos teaming up and getting a win against the Wyatt family. I don't know. It wasn't very interesting as far as that story goes this week. I don't know, as far as Raw is concerned.
I think there was that one. There was just that one announcement made by Daniel Bryan, and I think that just threw the whole show in.
Yeah.
I mean, because really, where the rest of the storylines go now?
Yeah. But at least in good. I mean, it was a pretty Shield heavy episode.
Oh, definitely.
That we can talk about. The Daniel Bryan thing. I mean, it's kind of funny. Last week, I think we were like, we weren't happy with the direction that they were going in, and
nobody was happy.
Nobody, yeah.
Saul Muster went on like a 15-minute rant on a show on Sunday, saying how even McFoley went on a Twitter rant, and that essentially saying that he essentially said, hey, I mean, look, I'm not satisfied with the way you're treating your champion here. I think the biggest thing that drove everybody insane last week's segment was that he ran away from Kane.
Yeah.
Like, Ned was going to say, who's trying to protect his wife? It's like, but, I mean, can't have John Cena look after her? Like, Nikki Bella's nowhere in the building? I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. We were comparing it, like, to a couple years ago with
Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder.
When Kane was trying to drag him down to I guess, TNA, essentially, or hell.
Yeah.
At this point, they're kind of one and the same as far as the wrestling business is concerned. But, no, I mean, it's so similar. And it so killed the Zack Ryder character.
Yeah. Now, Daniel Bryan getting escorted away in an ambulance. And Stephanie McMahon, her only real role on the show lately has kind of been to, be like, oh, I'm so sorry, Nikki. This should, kind of just like come out.
I mean, based on her reaction, character might do a 180 next week. I mean, the way. Well, first of all, the other story I found hilarious, which kind of sums up the whole Batista thing as well. Because we all said, well, Extreme Rules, that's it. Batista's leaving early, and well, apparently there's more to the story. Apparently, originally Batista was going to be main eventing Payback against Bryan.
Yeah.
WWE want Kane and Bryan to be a one and done essentially. So the next main event they thought would be Batista. They thought that made a lot of sense. He's just, he's a big guy, could be and essentially Batista said, no. I already put over the guy at Mania. I put over, Roman Reigns at Extreme. I'm not jobbing a third straight pay-per-view, especially to Bryan again. And I don't think he has a problem with Bryan or even Reigns or anything.
Yeah.
I think it's just that this is gone completely 180 than what he thought when he signed the contract. I mean, Tyler, he was supposed to win the Rumble, which he did.
Yeah.
Main Event Mania gets ordered, win the title. Probably during when he has to go promote Guardians of the Galaxy in August. Probably hold the title around like The Rock did. Promote the company essentially. Well, not only has he gone from not winning the title at Mania. He's now no longer even a singles competitor. He's part of Evolution again now. So is this really the direction? Like, is this really when he signed the contract? Is this really what he signed up for?
Yeah.
I don't think so. So I can see his frustration with management in that, but I think he should have also knew at the age of 45. I mean, because how old he is. What else would you expect?
Yeah. I mean, and like it's kind of the same thing with Triple H. Triple H isn't necessarily. He's the CEO of the company, obviously, but he's not putting himself.
But that's the thing. He's also management too. There,
he's putting people over.
He's looking at the business perspective here,
right? Yeah.
And some people could also say, well, Rob Van Dam's coming back. He's not coming back to get a world title run. He's coming back to put guys over. When Jericho came back, he wasn't coming back to get a world title. He's coming back, should somebody have told Batista, this? You're 45, Dave.
Yeah.
You're not young, but by age standards, I mean. and we do got a lot of young guys in this company here that maybe could use the win over you, maybe, because you do got a list of credentials of the company.
Guys who are 15 to 20 years younger, for that matter,
but that's supposed that was originally the whole deal of Payback. So now WWE's got to come up with a way to extend the Kane Bryan feud. And I guess we got to go. Their solution was, let's have Kane, try to, I guess, scare the hell out of Bryan and Brie Bell. I mean,
kind of like another case of like see no evil in a way.
But now with Bryan's neck problem, and this is legit. He has neck problems. I don't know when they happened. For real, they're saying it was the Kane tombstones. I'm not buying that one bit.
Yeah.
See, that's the reason. I think the reason why most fans, I don't even know if they even bought it as a legit neck injury to begin with, because he was combining it with storyline a lot.
Yeah.
It's because Kane's power drivers there, and it's because of the authority, blah 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 blah. Blah. He's mixing storyline with supposedly what is a real injury in that.
Yeah.
But I mean, and there's some people going, well, why did they not strip the title yet? Because I think WWE still has this small hope, and that's really this hope that it's only minor neck surgery. His neck is not as severe as they might have thought, and he might be only out for a couple of weeks. And he'll get the Dolph Ziggler treatment. He won't drop the belt.
Yeah.
At least not right. I mean, I'm hoping it's not gonna be like Ziggler, where then when he defends the title, he's gonna do a babyface turn, but he's gonna drop the belts then, and then he's just gonna be staying in mid card for eternity essentially. So I don't know. I mean, I guess we're gonna get more information next week after he has a surgery on Thursday. I mean, that's really what it was. Yeah. And I'd say it's legitimate because all we saw was Kane drag Bryan out. We didn't see him beat the hell out of him or anything.
Right.
So my guess is, and also I kind of noticed Bryan when he was originally did the yes thing. He wasn't like moving his high with his arms.
Right. Yeah.
Usually a sign that he might have a sensitive neck, so he doesn't want to move it too much.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I kind of cringed when he said that his career might be over. I mean, obviously we do know the history of neck injuries in this company. It ended Austin's career. It ended Edge's career.
Right. Yeah.
Not right away, but if it's a severe injury, even if you get a surgery and you fix it, there's still long-term effects to it.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is 32 in that. I mean, kind of still young. Still kind of young in that, but
by WWE standards.
But he's not in his 20s or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, he has been wrestling for years too. So
past year, I mean, it's definitely been busy.
If he has to strip the belt on belts on Monday, I mean, first of all, WWE has to then come with a new
contingency plan.
And minutes. Why did they strip him this week? Because they don't have one right now. Because who do you fill in that spot?
Right? Yeah.
You can't go to Cena. He's got a Bray Wyatt feud, which I'm saying that's going to wrap up in Payback now.
And all the you know how many people would crap on him.
I mean, the Shield's fighting the Shield, who I look as the next big baby faces essentially on Raw. They're fighting with Evolution still.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not putting the strap on Kane.
Yeah.
I mean, and actually, if you think about it, Sheamus was supposed to turn heel of the U.S. title. This week, he was straight up babyface. There wasn't even a tease like they did last week with SmackDown when he faced Dean Ambrose. So my guess is they're thinking at least, okay, well, I guess if Bryan's out, maybe Sheamus can fit in here as a babyface then, which I can buy that. I do think Sheamus can, if could fill that void. Because really, I don't know who else could fill the babyface void. I mean, which really shows you how low of a roster this has gotten here. I mean, to their credit, they're finally starting to build up guys now, finally.
Yeah.
It took them for years to build up new baby faces, but they're finally doing it. But still, it's the point now with, you got to pray now John Cena doesn't go out for 6 months now, because then who fills his shoes? I mean, but, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens, I guess, on Monday, because all WWE said was that he's got surgery on Thursday, and he's going to be out for a certain amount of time. They don't know how much. It could be a couple weeks. It could be a couple months. It could be a year, believe it or not, based on because of it being neck, depending on how severe the neck injury is. And if it's a year-long injury, start cringing because maybe his career might be over then. Because Bryan's got them thinking, okay, well, Edge Austin had massive neck injuries too, and their career didn't last much longer after it.
Yeah.
You know, they at least they were never the same again. They were a little careful with their spots in that. So I mean, obviously it's heartbroken for him, Daniel Bryan. He was there. He was actually expecting a way longer title reign than what
Yeah.
he would be getting in that. But injuries do happen in this industry, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but to me, Raw felt kind of just awkward just because this came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it was it wasn't just the announcement; it was the fact that we got like no details on this announcement.
Yeah.
So I guess next week's Raw will definitely be interesting.
Yeah.
A, whether he drops the straps or not, and B, what's the contingency plan then?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and as far as like the story goes, like as far as like a creative standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
like with the whole, like ambulance thing and dragging,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think like they should like maybe go back and like kind of like play up more how they used to be Team Hell No in this storyline.
Well, that's the one that I found like they really dropped the ball on. Really,
Yeah, they're not.
Is that it's like they're not acknowledging these guys were a
had
tag team.
Yeah, for like a year or however long it was.
They're just playing this whole idea of the demon, and that's the thing too. If I hear the word Demon Kane one more time,
Oh no!
Yeah.
I he's. It's not we haven't seen Sadistic Kane before, but it's just
not
like
1997.
But Demon Kane. I mean, if I can hear that one more time at a Slave Man's mouth, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah.
Demon Kane against beats up Daniel Bryan. That's how they worded it. Demon Kane.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I do agree with you on the part that where was the history of Team Hell No here? You could have easily gone with.
Yeah, I mean,
do we have to go with Kane stalking Bryan and Bryan running away like a chicken
Brie
shit?
Bella,
I mean, and Brie Bella and her amazing acting abilities,
Yeah, it's like they never had, that big run of as Team Hell No.
I mean, granted, Brie Bella was a little better this week than she was in the car.
Yeah.
Probably she wasn't fake screaming or anything like that. Like, it was just, she just looked very sad and depressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, so like I said, I think we get next week's going to be a lot more answers than that.
Yeah.
But the one positive had to be the Shield in this show.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
You talk about looking strong as hell as a team. I mean, they beat up half the roster of the show.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, going there. I mean, the start of the show, the opening promo was it's pretty good. I mean, they each get a chance to tell Roman Reigns
staring into the camera was actually very good.
Yeah.
Granted, they then moved away from that camera, and I guess he had to then turn to another camera to look into it.
Yeah.
I wish he would have just stayed and talked directly into that camera because you hardly see anybody do that anymore.
Yeah.
But at least they're pissed off. John Cena could take some notes once in a while.
Yeah.
They're not telling jokes. They're pissed. This is the one thing about the Daniel Bryan Kane feud too. I liked. At least when Bryan got his ass kicked, he didn't come out and tell a joke or anything. When Stephanie was doing her apology, he looked pissed off as hell.
Right.
No, I'm pissed off. You hurt me, and you tried to hurt my girlfriend. Then, this is bullshit essentially.
Yeah.
Not John Cena. Who apparently can tell just tells a joke once in a while.
Yeah.
And well, I don't know. I mean, it's he did this with Orton too. Remember when Orton beat up his father, and he was legitimately pissed off for once. What is he doing in the Orton match at Rumble? What does he do? Does he tackle him and beat the shit out of him? No, headlock, a freaking headlock.
Yeah.
They lock up and it's a headlock. Same thing with Bray Wyatt. Oh, I'm pissed off at Bray Wyatt here. He's destroying everything I work for. At least in Mania, he showed some signs of I'm really conflicted. I want to beat the hell out of this guy right now. Steel cage, that's all gone. Headlock once again.
Yeah.
So I know he's the golden goose. I know he's done so many good things in this, but can this guy tell a freaking story to save his life once in a while?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Yeah. I think his wrestling ability has vastly improved over the years, but it feels like his storytelling ability has gone south all of a sudden. Or he's a hit and miss. I mean, it's not that complicated, John. If you're pissed off, you're pissed off.
Yeah.
Then act pissed off when you're wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and again, this past, teaming up with the Usos and, I don't know, it's like a feel-good win over the Wyatts. And
well, to be fair, the Usos do need a win.
Yeah, I mean, they're tag team champion, but, yeah.
I mean and if it's against the Wyatts, and they even brought up, Eric Rowan and Luke Harper could be challenges for them in the future.
Yeah, that's the possibility.
So,
yeah.
I mean, you got to set up a storyline with them there. So,
Yeah.
and not to mention, I think Cena did need a win. After all, the last time he was faced the Wyatts, he lost.
Yeah.
So, you got to go back and forth here, you know.
I mean,
Tyler.
even though like people, even though the rest of the Wyatt family like helped out Bray Wyatt in that match, and,
well, yeah,
I don't know.
But that's what heel that's what heel does, though.
Yeah, I mean, they could use a clean win maybe at some point, but over John Cena, that might be asking a lot.
Bray Wyatt is not a physically dominated character. He's a psychological character.
Yeah, but I mean,
he's not Alexander Rusev, who's supposed to be this dominant physical threat, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, but still, you could use at least, I mean, just some advice to WWE, just to for the future, but yeah, I mean, anyways, like the Shield, going back to the Shield, like in the beginning, like exactly, like once the limo arrived with Evolution and out comes Triple H and down goes the Shield, we're going to get him, and that's. And throughout the night, that was kind of the theme, and obviously they attacked him backstage, and I mean,
then you have the whole locker room come out and say, well, at least almost the entire heel locker room come out.
Yeah,
they start digging up the Shield, and then
you could see Fit Finlay in the backstage trying to keep him away from the yeah.
Yeah, but
and then they had that set also in the middle of the show when Evolution was out on the mic, and then just Seth Rollins surprise attack, they're hiding, and then later on main event.
Yep, Reigns and Batista.
Yeah, which obviously you knew was going to get cut short. Unless it was like on a pay-per-view, you had to expect that was going to get cut short.
But no, I mean you. Obviously, the thing that shocked me was, but I knew was going to happen, was when Reigns was he was only left in the ring, and he had Triple H waiting to go after him and then spear.
Yeah.
I mean, and once that happened, then you see Rollins and Ambrose come in with just steel chairs and just beat the hell out of half the roster. They literally kicked half the roster's ass. Yeah. I mean, you talk about putting over how strong a team is. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, taking the chairs. I mean, that's opportunistic there, and mixing it up a little bit, getting rid of the rest of the roster, and
destroying Ryback with a powerbomb, which is what they essentially did when they debuted.
When they were heels, and it's funny how that could. But and then Evolution gets away this week, so next week you have to think, that the Shield will still be gunning to get their hands on. Evolution some more. I mean, Triple H got speared, and but I mean they were able to escape, I guess, the rest of them. And I mean it was basically the Shield dominating a lot of the mid card and below roster. So, but I mean, definitely a good feud going here, and it sounds like Payback. They're hinting at some kind of maybe
stipulation,
tornado Extreme Rules match or something.
I mean. If they're gonna do a rematch stipulation, at the end of the day, though, the Shield has to win. Yeah. And in fact, if anything, this is Batista's last show. Obviously, now if Bryan's hurt, they're gonna try everything in their power to keep him for another month.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, they knew he was gonna promote Guardians of the Galaxy originally in his contract, but like I said, he's at the point now where he's just frustrated and supposedly disgruntled with WWE because it's like, this wasn't what I was guaranteed when I signed the contract. It wasn't what I signed. I did not sign up for to put over guys, essentially.
Yeah.
I don't think he's complaining about it. I don't think it's like, oh, but it's not like I don't think the Shield aren't ready or they're not this bright future for the company. I'm sure he would say yeah. Or not that I don't think I had no problem tapping out to Daniel. That's what he did. He didn't just lose the Bryan. He tapped out the Bryan. Yeah. Which, if you remember watching him against NXT Daniel Bryan, who never won a match in his life, that's a pretty big deal. But no, I mean, so you got to think maybe he's going to be, if they go hardcore, he's going to be doing an injury angle with him maybe. Maybe Triple H. Maybe just Orton's back to being solo that again. Because really, I'm sure Orton's wondering, okay,
he's in line for,
Let's say he still has his rematch clause here yet, and he hasn't used it yet. Yeah. I don't know how long these rematch clauses work. They really don't explain that. But but again, if Bryan is stripped, does the rematch clause even matter then? Because that's definitely based on, I think who the champion is too. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. And I mean,
honestly, my guess, you do maybe a battle royal at Payback, the crown the next champion, maybe.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate the fact that that's how you got to do it. But how many times have you stripped the title at the last second and you just say put 20 guys in there and they do a quick battle royal?
Yeah. Or I don't know. I mean, maybe like Triple H says, Orton's got a rematch clause. Let's put him against somebody. I don't know what babyface they'd put in there, but who knows?
So the thing, I brought up Sheamus, but he's already United States champion.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
I mean, Big E's not ready.
Right. Yeah.
In fact, like I said, I think the whole title been go down backwards, not forwards.
Yeah, it made him less camera time in recent
I mean,
weeks.
I'm really looking at the entire roster, and I can't think of a babyface that stands out as well. The Shield, maybe next year, definitely Roman Reigns next year.
Yeah.
What, John Cena again? I mean, you might have to do that. I don't know. That's what John wants right now. Because he's really been trying his best, sounds like, to stay the hell out of the main event. But I think he even knows that this is I would say, weak roster right now.
Yeah.
I mean, do you put it on Bray Wyatt finally? I mean, do you just incorporate the... What's it do? Do you just incorporate maybe John Cena and Bray Wyatt for the titles then?
Yeah.
I mean, because really, Bray's almost like the number 2 heel anyway right now, it looks like. Number 2, I mean, he's getting up there, Tyler.
Yeah.
I mean, you got I think the Authority is number 1 essentially, and then you got Bray Wyatt like number 2.
Yeah.
And he could easily be number 1 because this Authority angle is not going to last forever.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you put the straps on him? I mean, that's the thing. This is what the company is thinking about right now because they finally have just discovered that, even though they have started, like I said, pushing guys again.
Yeah.
And the Shield really, I think, could be like this next dominant team, and they already have been showing signs of that. They really have come to the conclusion they got nobody really after Cena and Bryan right now. Cesaro's not ready.
Yeah, he wasn't even on
the show
on Raw this past week. No Paul Heyman.
Well, no Bad News Barrett. My
Intercontinental Champion, didn't he win it last week? Or,
yeah.
Extreme Rules.
Yeah. He beat Big E last week in the rematch. Like I said, I have a feeling based on how the show was that a lot of stuff was written at the last second, and I'm sure that means you miss guys.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, so there's guys on the roster that I think can win a world title in the future. But I don't see anybody right now that's worthy of being champion right now.
Yeah, that just isn't like pushed to,
Which once again, I think is also when they heard neck injury, they're saying, well, maybe Bryan's only going to be out for a couple of weeks. And that's the case.
Yeah.
We can work around that some way to the degree.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, hell, maybe Stephanie comes out next week and she goes sort of babyface and calls out Kane and says, no, you crossed the line last week. And you think you're getting a world title shot all of a sudden now, and you can do something like that. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe Kane starts hearting the McMahon family now. I mean, it's not like Stephanie hasn't been hearted by the Undertaker before in the past, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, next week's Raw is going to actually be so intriguing just because I don't know what direction they're going with now.
Maybe they give,
and it's not their fault because injuries happen.
Yeah. Maybe they give an early callback to Brock Lesnar. No, I'm just kidding. No, can you imagine how many people would, still.
Well, Brock could definitely earn the strap. I think a streak earns you a title shot automatically. Essentially, storyline-wise.
Yeah, a lot of people would be. I'm just waiting for the next time he's even on TV and on Raw in general.
SummerSlam. Expect
SummerSlam.
Like
in the build-up. Like I can't wait to see what kind of reception he gets.
Well, and that's why he can cross his name off. And I mean, it's like. If he's gonna win a world title, it's gonna be at the Royal Rumble. It's gonna be the Rock.
Major pay,
it's gonna be but it's gonna be the Rumble because it's closer to Mania.
And then he can drop it to somebody.
Exactly. But that way he can. But that's usually the dates he works the most. Tyler is Rumble to Mania usually.
Yeah. Exactly.
Most of the year he's absent. So if he's gonna hold the strap, and usually when you hold the strap, they want you to show up at least at all tapings and all that, or at least all live events. I should say live events because that's house shows. But these show, like all Monday Night Raws essentially.
Yeah.
Or at least most of them. That's gonna be around Mania season then. If they ever want to put the straps on him. So if a Lesnar feud happens, I'm guessing Rumble.
Yeah.
Unless they decide to go, Brock could win it at SummerSlam, but then he loses it at the next pay-per-view right away.
Or somebody cashes in Money on the Bank.
Well, that too. You can have Brock win, and then all of a sudden...
Now you only have one Money, of course, now with the...
Because
so that makes it more interesting. Well,
but some people also brought that up too. Did they go back to individual straps now?
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that because once again, how weak is this roster looking now?
Yeah.
I think you need one world title.
Yeah, and
I also think you need one secondary title too. But
yeah, which I don't know. They could end up. There's rumors about that happening. You know, the U.S. and Intercontinental Championship, and it kind of makes sense too when Dean Ambrose for a while. It's like he didn't even come out with a belt sometimes, or
And when he did, and the last one event he did, he just throws it on the ground and just kicks it over to the ring announcer as if it's like a piece of a toy belt essentially.
Yeah.
As if it's not even like a real championship.
Yeah. And now this week, of course this week, Wade Barrett not on the show with the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
Where, last week Sheamus won the U.S. Championship in the Battle Royal, and that's like, I don't know. So.
I don't know. Maybe it is based on who wins the belt in that, but
yeah, it is a bit puzzling. So I mean, obviously they could unify those titles for all we care, and that'd be fine too. So, but yeah, I mean that's right now. I mean it's mainly the Shield, and as far as like the storyline, they seem to know what they're doing the most with.
Yeah.
I guess they're just waiting for, Batista to leave, and I don't know. We'll see.
I would say they're waiting. I think they're begging actually for him to stay in that.
Yeah. Well, because he was supposed to leave at Extreme Rules. I mean, by the way, it sounded.
Somebody actually brought this up.
That.
Somebody actually brought this up too. There, with Bryan to be going after. Does WWE go back to lobbying the Punk again?
Yeah, I know.
Payback is in Chicago.
Yeah.
If I know Punk suppose he's this guy of like more, well, it's not about the money, guys, but if there was ever time for like Vince and Hunter to like throw a lot more cash into his contract, this would be the moment.
Yeah.
I doubt that though, because there was a story that leaked out last week that a friend of Punk's wrote a story that essentially said he's retired. He's just waiting for his contract and he's done. And he says he's actually terrified for his own life now because he's been doing a lot of stalking recently.
Oh yeah.
From crazy fans. He said one time he went outside, there was a fan by his dumpster. He was just dumping trash, and there was a fan outside waiting for him. And
it's an outrage.
His friends keep you can move to a gated community and which is where most wrestlers usually live. Usually a gated community, it's because it's isolated from the general public. You can't get in unless you live there or you know somebody. That's why John Cena does not have any, stalkers, because if he would live in the actual city, he probably would have a shitload of female stalkers, probably, maybe even male stalkers too. But Punk, he's proud to call himself, a Chicagoan, and that, he's proud to say he's from Chicago. He wants to stay in Chicago in his nice apartment, And granted, people now know where his apartment is because of the DVD and everything, so it's not like he can't even hide that anymore. So, I mean, they also said, they suggested he hires security now. He doesn't want to because he thinks that just adds more attention to you. His goal essentially is he goes to areas and cover up his face and maybe he can get out.
Yeah.
He has a bodyguard. People know that you're somebody now. So that's not going to move people away from you, even if the guy says, back away, I'm going to kick your ass there or something like that. But no. So I feel bad for Punk here now. But some people would also say that maybe if he made a statement saying that he is done, please leave me alone, respect my privacy, get a life. But, somebody even brought, look, if he's still on a contract, maybe there's this, you can't say anything, blah, 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 about the company because you're still an employee of this company. So, maybe he has to wait out till July, I guess, then, until he can actually make a statement saying, look, I am officially retired from wrestling. I just want to live my life. Can you people please just leave me the hell alone?
Yeah.
But like I said earlier there, does money talk eventually?
Yeah.
Did they give him a massive raise? Yeah. Obviously, Bryan's hurt. They can easily move him up faster up the roster now. Yeah, the phone keeps ringing. Yeah. Stupid phone.
Yeah.
But
let's go to the phone.
Can he, with Bryan out, can he just slide up to the number 2 spot again? Maybe number 1 again, technically. Does this motivate him to come back to the company?
Yeah, I know. Like it's kind of funny, like how it all came because once Punk left, it was definitely a big influence,
void.
Big influence on and Daniel Bryan moving up, and the fans basically demand like, all right, Daniel Bryan's got to be in the main event at WrestleMania.
But then again, after watching the Armored Warrior DVD and seeing Punk's face completely stickered off as if he didn't even exist on the poster, I think that pretty much sums up where his stance in the company is.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, and it's supposed to be the talks, but any talks, it was supposed just between Vince and Punk. Triple H wanted nothing to do with it, because let's face it, Punk left because he didn't want to fight Triple H. He didn't think Triple H was worthy of fighting him, essentially. Which, I don't believe Triple H was saying that's an insult. He's a veteran of the company. Yeah. I mean, there's stories about, well, maybe Triple H would not put over Punk and blah, blah, blah. Who knows? But if Punk's only reason is that I don't think he doesn't have the grit, Triple H is not a good enough opponent for me, essentially. That's an insult for Triple H, essentially. Because now he's essentially saying is that, Triple H is just a throwaway match, essentially. If you fight Triple H, it's a throwaway.
Maybe at this point in his career, I don't know.
I don't know. Last time I checked, he fought Bryan. That was the main event in my mind. And no, even though I know about the pay that was way more interesting than the triple threat match that they did, storyline wise.
Yeah.
So, and that's how Punk feels. I disagree with Punk. Triple H proved that he can that you can fight
against
Triple H.
Bryan, yeah.
The Bryan thing, and the match can still matter.
Yeah.
So
and then because
Punk's whole deal was that I don't want to fight Triple H because I don't think the match matters. That's a massive insult to the man. Then.
Yeah. I mean, for Daniel Bryan's case, I mean, it got him into the triple threat match, the main event.
Not that put him over huge.
Yeah.
He beat Triple H.
Yeah.
I mean, so it does have value. Now, Punk could say maybe. Well,
Bryan,
let's think. Punk would say, well, I was more established, though. I mean, did I really need a win over Triple H?
He already had that, over year-long title reign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was right. The company gave him.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, too. When you leave a company high and dry like this, how much of a middle finger is that to the company that gave you this, year-long reign?
Yeah.
Which you hardly see in today's, wrestling in that. I think, like I said, this is where I mix with Punk now, because I really, after looking at it now, especially now the depth of the roster, he just left a lot of guys hanging, essentially, it feels like.
Now we see that now if Daniel Bryan's out.
Yeah. I mean, maybe Punk doesn't care if the company folds in a couple of years. I don't want to say that now, because as far as financials go, they're good.
Yeah.
And I don't see any, red line that says, oh, God, this company's going to fold, in a couple of years. But until you see a lot more young talent and, and that, also the fact that once guys get hurt, you don't have this void of like, oh man, it feels like something's missing now all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like until that void is filled when people get hurt, I don't think you still have that in your mind here. Is this company moving it in a positive direction?
Yeah.
I think they are now because they are clearly pushing young talent finally. They are finally pushing development farther. But it's still because they ignored it for so long. They now have to deal with this massive void now.
Yeah. It's a bad timing, right? Because you got the Shield's wrapped up in an Evolution feud, and Cena's wrapped up in a Bray Wyatt feud, and who knows who they're really going to put. Sheamus is kind of demoted a little bit right now in the.
He won the U.S. title. Right? He was a 4-world champion. I was the U.S. champion again. So
Bad News Barrett just got the Intercontinental Championship. Who was supposed to be a world championship material at one time.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen yet. So
I mean, Cesaro's supposedly the Paul Heyman guy. Yeah. Supposedly he's high in the company right now.
Yeah.
In fact, as you see where he goes with Bryan out, but no, it feels like there's this massive void missing, and I think until the company fills this void to the point where now, okay, if somebody's hurt and they have to go out for 6 months, no big deal. We got so and so and so and so to fill the void now.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they have that right now. I just feel like that they're missing. If people are gone, they have difficulty filling spots now.
Yeah.
And if you're a shareholder, that's gotta maybe make you cringe a little bit.
Yeah.
If you're a fan, definitely make you start sweating and saying, how much more longevity does this company have now?
Yeah. Punk's probably thinking right now, like, see what I told you, but
yeah,
But yeah, I mean.
But also at the same time, it's not his company. It's not his call.
Yeah, he's probably thinking to himself like, see, you got to push this young talent.
But then, like I said, you can also blame Punk for the reason why it's a void because if Bryan was hurt and Punk was still there, maybe the void, you might not even notice the void. Really,
things might be different.
Might be different,
Yeah.
So
And also, too, like, not like I have a problem with the Shield still being, together, but like, had they actually did
Split
break
up,
up,
yeah.
who knows where,
Dean Ambrose might be a top heel.
Yeah, and
Rollins and Reigns. Well, definitely Reigns is clearly the
Reigns,
golden.
yeah,
I look at Reigns, and you can already tell the way he's going to push it. This for a lot of people. This
yeah.
might be their next golden goose.
Right, yeah,
Young, he's big, but he's athletic.
yeah,
Really athletic for a big guy. Really athletic.
yeah.
And he's got some family.
Lineage, yeah.
The Rock's cousin.
Yeah,
He's part of that massive family, which would include the Usos, I believe, as well.
yeah.
So I mean,
Tag team champions right
yep.
now.
So I mean, it's very impressive there. But
Yeah.
Obviously Seth Rollins, big deal as well. But at the same time,
Bunkmaster.
the Shield is over.
Yeah.
Do you split up a team that's over right now?
I know that's the thing. So yeah, and I mean, especially with this feud with the Evolution, with Evolution too, and I mean, I guess maybe SummerSlam Reigns versus Triple H, maybe this feud like sort of continues in some way, but you got to wonder like after Evolution, wonder who they feud with next, where they go with.
Somebody brought this up too. Who says they got to always feud as a team? They could stay as a team, but feud as individuals.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, which like Triple H versus Roman Reigns.
As crazy as it is, let's look at Evolution here for a second. It wasn't like, oh, we're on a tag team. Batista couldn't go do one-on-one matches, or Orton could do one-on-one matches. Let's figure. Orton won the Intercontinental Championship as a member of Evolution.
Right. Yeah.
Batista, was a tag team champion with Ric Flair at one point, but he even did singles matches too.
Yeah.
So it's not like the Shield, if they stay as a group, they can't do one-on-one contests with people.
Right. Yeah.
They can't challenge for belts or anything. They can still do that. I mean, it's not like, oh, you're part of a group. Oh, you're only known as a glorified tag team performer now.
Yeah.
When you're part of a stable, I look at it, and especially the way the Shield team set up, there are three strong individuals that happen to coexist well.
Yeah.
So there's always this belief in your mind that, okay, these guys are three talented individuals, period. So I can actually buy them as individual performers. So why you gonna keep pushing it as if, oh, these guys can only work together as a tag team? They can't do one-on-one matches.
Yeah.
They can.
Yeah.
They've proven they can.
Yeah.
So I mean, when I see it, you got three baby faces right there. You don't just have one baby face team. You got three strong baby faces.
Yeah.
And one splits up or just says, F you guys. You got one strong heel now.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing, like, they do have, like, one-on-one matches, like Reigns and Batista, and then, what happens is, it just becomes another brawl, and they bring out the rest of the roster.
SmackDown, all three of the Shield were in a one-on-one contest.
Yeah.
Ambrose was against Sheamus, Rollins took on Batista, and, Reigns took on Mark Henry.
Yeah.
Who, once again, is really up to the whole somebody's going to get his ass kicked motto.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny, because actually when Reigns was brought out to face Batista, last night on Raw, I think Michael Cole or somebody said how, like, it's rare that Roman Reigns faces somebody who's, as powerful as he is. And it's like, well, didn't he just get done facing Mark Henry, on SmackDown?
Well, that's the thing too. Big Show hasn't been on in a while. He's still on the roster.
Too, yeah.
But once again, I don't want to see him as world champion again.
Yeah,
Mark Henry,
I could see
Mark Henry had that one
now.
solid reign, and that was, that's probably his only world title he's ever going to get in his career.
Yeah.
I mean, because clearly he's not doing it. Clearly his goal now is to put over young guys, which is what the company's goal should still be. They should not all of a sudden say, oh man, we have this small void. We could easily put the belt on a veteran. Now, at the same time, like, okay, well, you got to put on Big Show. Fine, put it on Big Show, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's just know this.
Yeah.
It's only temporary.
Yeah, whatever babyface.
This should not be the whole, we got to stick with the veterans and the old guys, because clearly these young guys, although very talented, are so injury prone right now.
Yeah.
They've got to keep going with these safe veterans that can stay healthy long enough.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, but if you're a company right now, there's some voids that got to be filled next week.
Yeah, definitely. And
but I guarantee this: at WWE headquarters, there's a lot of erasing and pencil sharpening going on in the creative meetings right now for some directions of some feuds now.
Yeah. Yeah. In other news, I mean, there were actually not one but two Divas matches on Raw. That's that's pretty well. One was more like a total Divas based match, and then the other one is your Divas champion Paige.
I didn't get the whole was I took it as Nikki was the heel in the match because she turned down Natty's painting and said it was ugly. But then the Divas all said Natty was a 0, and I didn't get who was babyface and heel then. I mean, I really didn't get the whole concept.
Yeah, it's another one of those, we're pushing total divas, and this is what happened.
I mean, and to WWE's credit, supposedly they have brought over some new fans to the product now of that show. Total Divas is going down as a success as far as people doing its job, bringing in some new female fans particularly, and it actually is promoting the division, the Divas division. Not so much from a wrestling standpoint,
right,
really.
Yeah.
but Total Divas, as far as I'm concerned, is going to go down as a success than a failure right now.
Yeah. I mean, like it or
it's
not,
it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Bringing yeah, exactly.
I mean, and Paige beat Alicia Fox, who then apparently also lost her mind.
Taking the JBL's hat, and the look on JBL's face was just priceless. Well, first of all, JBL clearly had looked like he spent an entire day out in the sun, and just look on his face was priceless. I don't know. It looked like JBL was actually in that happening.
Let's see. The other big mid card thing that happened was oh crap! It was Dolph Ziggler versus Fandango.
Yeah.
And after the match, Fandango is kissing Layla, and I guess making fun of the whole Michael Sam kissing controversy. JBL yelling, "Go to commercial! Go to commercial! Yeah. My mom watches this product." So I mean. Clearly, that's good old Vince McMahon there taking advantage of I guess as he words a controversial story and using it as a platform for his product.
Yeah.
I don't know, and Adam Rose showed up again.
Yeah, interrupting the RVD and Jack Swagger.
You can tell that the audience has no idea how they react to the character right now.
Yeah.
So, someone actually brought this up on the even though. You can tell that they're clearly trying to promote this guy as a rocker. I think it was brought on Don Tony and Kevin Castle show, but Kevin Castle actually thinks that the guy is the crowd doesn't know how to react to him because they think that the character's too fruity.
Yeah, I don't know.
He walks out, he kind of has a lollipop in his mouth and that, I mean, as far as based on the character, supposed to be based on a Russell Brand character. And if you ever met Russell Brand's, as an actor, you kind of get where the character's coming from in that. I mean, I get the character, but I guess some people, they look at it and they're like, is this guy gay or something? First of all, if he is, who cares? Yeah. But as far as the whole point of the character is that, no, he's a rocker. These are his groupies.
Yeah.
Who I believe are female as well. They're not just male, they're female. Yeah. I mean, so I think a lot of people just don't know how to react to the character right now. Yeah. I'm hoping WWE can finally promote this guy to the point where he gets a reaction.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's not getting a reaction because I think it's because most people don't know what his character is.
Yeah. And then we haven't, they haven't really seen him in a match even yet.
Well, that's the thing too. Wrestling would definitely shut some people up here. I mean, like I said, this guy is Leo Kruger. He's been in development for feels like an eternity.
Yeah.
Originally he thought he was gonna go. Actually, I think his original character was like this almost Undertaker ripoff character, kind of like a very demonic character. He had that for a while, but then he said, "Hey, no, maybe try this Adam Rose character." It's kind of a Russell Brand ripoff in that. Yeah. You come out, you talk like Russell Brand essentially, because that's what he sounds like, Russell Brand.
Yeah.
And you have a pretty kind of cool entrance. I think his entrance is cool. Especially the one this week where Swagger goes for a punch and he just falls off and
Yeah.
But there's a body surf then. But I mean, I'm gonna wait until the match happens. I'll probably at Payback. It's gonna be Swagger and Rose, and like I said, it's Leo Kruger. He can work. The only problem with Leo Kruger, like many development guys, is you got to get the right character to make it to the main roster. And he finally does. But I think Chicago. I think hopefully it's gonna be a pro Adam Rose crowd. That's the thing. At least he wasn't getting. At least he's not getting booed. But the point is he's getting no reaction whatsoever. Yeah. He's clearly a baby face. He's supposed to be getting cheers and that. And the hoping people will start humming the song and dancing to the song and that. And all people are doing are just scratching their heads going, what's this character here I'm looking at?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, he's supposed to be a rocker. I mean, his bus is called the Exotic Express. This is clearly and has roses. It's clearly a reference to Guns N' Roses, and
Yeah.
I mean, well, actually, somebody said this guy could be Axel Fall, you know, from Guns N' Roses. You know, or Bret Michaels from Poison.
Poison, yeah.
Easily, you can easily make that reference too, based on calling it the Exotic Express. But I mean, it's clearly it's a rocker. But for some reason, there's like people like just like saying like, I don't know, this guy supposed to be gay.
Yeah.
I mean, he seems kind of fruity.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
Who is this?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think, you know, I guess that pretty much covers Raw this past week, and
Yeah, I mean,
you know, basically what's going on. Yeah, I mean, a lot of scratching and erasing and pencil sharpening. The creative meetings, I guess you could say, right now. And,
Thursday's gonna be a big story because that's when he gets his surgery, and by then
Yeah.
WWE should know by next Monday.
yeah,
I'm curious what they do for tonight's SmackDown taping because they're not gonna have him drop the straps on SmackDown.
right, yeah,
They're gonna wait till Raw next week, and
yeah, till the official word on the status of his neck. Yeah, so
yeah.
so yeah, I guess it'll make for you know, a big edition of the Great Wrestling Debate next week.
Mhm.
I guess as you know, we'll talk about that, and we'll be, you know, another week closer to Payback, and you know what might go on there, and with the Shield, and you know the Wyatt family story as well. So yeah, I guess we'll wait until then and see what happens on Raw and SmackDown, and I guess the status of Daniel Bryan's neck, and we'll talk about it right here in the Great Wrestling Debate next week. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for tuning in as always.